Welcome to Use of Force. In this video, we'll be covering the administrative settings for Use of Force. There are two options, one to have an integrated use of force that's available in each report, and another which requires an individual report to be taken for each use of force incident. For each user and administrator, you'll want to set the security permissions. File, Security, System Users for individuals. Select the individual you wish to alter, and in the Enforcer area, you'll see 4 permissions for use of force in the description. You can also search down here, click Apply, and they'll all be available there for you. I'll save that, and now I'll have to log out and log back in for those to take effect. But before doing that, I'm going to show you the security profile list. This is what you would do if you want to grant everybody in an entire profile permissions. Let's take an administrator group here, and we can go to the Enforcer tab for the entire profile group, and there's use of force there. The next step will be to create an incident type for use of force type incidents if individual use of force incidents that are separate from the actual incident are to be used. And to do that, we'll go here to the incident type list, and then we'll create a use of force incident type. Note, once again, this is for separate use of force reports from the original. You can pick whatever you want to call this information. I'm just going to fill some stuff in here. It does have to be a criminal offense category. And to reiterate here, I'm just going to type that this is for using the distinct use of force reports and not the integrated version. There it is. Now let's go to our agency list. We'll pick the police department. In the Enforcer Options tab, you'll see a new area called Use of Force. This section right here. This is what allows us to create the distinct use of force reports and select that incident type we just created. And it also has some security permissions associated with it. So if I want to create the distinct separated use of force reports, I'm going to check mark that box and go in here and select the incident type I just created. And here you have the ability to allow other agencies to view use of force data, just like you do above there for all data. So you can restrict the access for use of force data if you still wish to allow access for everything else. Here, I'm just going to match these. Next up, I'll show you the differences between the distinct separated use of force reports, which is the option we're on right now, and the integrated version. So first, I'm going to select a report I wish to make a use of force report of, and I'm going to use this button, Create Use of Force Report. This is going to copy the report and all of its contents, and then create a report using the new incident type, use of force, that we created earlier. Now, as you can see, it says use of force. It has a new incident number. It did burn one, and it will show up in this list once we save it and come back. Let's do that. And there we go. Now we have a use of force incident type, and we can go back and complete that. Here you'll see a new tab called Use of Force. This will be completed the same in both versions of the report, the integrated and the separated version, and this is what it looks like. Next, as a refresher, let's go back and change that to the integrated style. Go back here to Enforcer and uncheck mark that box. We'll save that. And we'll go back to the incident list. And then we'll just open a different report, because now all reports have the option to complete use of force within them, not just the use of force incident type. And here, of course, it's filled out the same way. Alright, and let's cover the final set of administrative settings. I'm going to add an officer real quick. And there are these two fields, full-time and total tenure. You can enter these on every individual if you like, but they can also be defaulted from their personnel file. Let's close this out. Go to File, Administration, Personnel Master, find your officer, go to the Classification tab, and then make sure this is filled out. You can click the plus button and fill out all of these fields. I'm going to leave the end date blank because they still work. And for each of these code ones with an ellipsis button that have a list, these have cross-references, so make sure that those are in there. So if it's a cross-reference of police officer type or corrections type, make sure to select that. And then also the pay classification. Full-time, for example, has a cross-reference of full-time, and that's how use of force knows the person was full-time. Now you have this date first sworn in and years inactive. So this helps us calculate breaks in service in case there were any, and I guess, you couldn't be 5 years inactive if it was this year, so let's put a previous date there. That's it. Save that, and that officer is good to go.